friends with the majority of my exes. You know this. You're friends with some of them too. So I just wanted to talk about it. Like, is that okay? I have had exes contact me who said that they were still in love with me.
Now, you crossed the line and then disrespected me in front of my wife.
And children. I kiss and tell. So Rudy knows all the stories.
Wait, I gotta fix that. You kissed
Larianne and Roody. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl Larianne.
And Rudy.
And I'd like to welcome you to our first ever podcast episode. Rudy and I are so excited. Well, let me speak for myself, girl, because I am terribly excited. We've been wanting to do something like this for years, and the fact that we're actually doing it now is quite exciting. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be having a little back and forth conversation. You know what I mean? Just talking about one particular topic. And we're just going to be giving our opinions and stuff like that. And I feel like that's what we're going to be doing for most of our podcasts. Just going back and forth, or we're going to be doing a story time, or we're going to try to be funny and talk about stuff we don't like in a funny way. So I hope that you stick around for this journey because it's going to be quite awesome. All right, Rudy. So I saw this post, right, yesterday on Marriage 365 on Instagram. And it was talking about the fact that it is not okay to be friends with your exes on social media. So, you know, as for me and my house, we have had a lot of exes, okay? I've had a lot of relationships, nothing too serious. And I'm thinking about the fact that I'm friends with the majority of my exes. You know this. You're friends with some of them too. So I just wanted to talk about it. Like, is that okay? Or is it not okay?
I mean, I don't have any issues with it, but I think that's only because like I super trust you, you know. I know that other things won't come out of it because one, I know that majority of them weren't serious, and for the ones that were serious, you know, you handled it the way it was supposed to be handled, and it doesn't grow past that point. Yeah. So. Yeah,
and for me, with Rudy's exes, I feel like, you know, I'm not even talking about us in particular. I think in general. The comment that I left on their Instagram post was, it depends on the dynamic of the relationship.
Yeah, I think so.
If you were deeply, madly in love, about to be engaged, talking about marriage, you have a child together, it's going to be a little bit different, you know? Yeah, because obviously that's... the level of intimacy there was just so high, and you know, you probably had like a little broken heart after your breakup or whatever reason you guys disconnected for a reason. So for you to be friends with that person again is kind of a red flag.
Yeah, and it's almost like, let's say you were the person he was cheating with on his ex, and the ex left him because of you, but he's still talking to the ex. It's just like, why are you going back to the ex? Now, are you cheating on me? And you know, those feelings will come up because one, you know how your relationship started, and he's talking to his ex. So who knows if it will happen again? You know, yeah, things like that will flow through your mind.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about just why are you guys exes? Why did you break up? Why didn't it work out? How intimate were you? And why are you friends? What kind of friendship do you have? Are you guys going out to have lunch regularly? Are you just friends on Instagram? Do you talk on the phone? Like, what kind of friendship is this? So I feel like there are quite a few variables that would make this inappropriate or not. All right, so I did a poll on Instagram and on YouTube to see what everyone thought, and it's like almost unanimous. So on Instagram, 49% of people said absolutely not. It's not okay to be friends with your ex while married. And on YouTube, it was 61%. So even more people on YouTube were like, no. And then I only had 8% and 9% say, sure, why not? And then 43% and 30% said it depends. So let me give you guys a little backstory about your girl, all right? So I started having boyfriends when I was like 11. Sorry, mommy, daddy, Larry. And then Rudy and I started dating when I was 18. And, obviously we got married at 20, so it stopped. The boys that I called my boyfriends, that's why I have to do the air quotes because the relationships were not that serious. And Rudy knows the ins and outs. Rudy knows everything about each of these relationships. They were not very serious, as you can imagine. Like, who's gonna have a serious relationship at 12 years old, right? So, it's funny because I said 12 years old, and the one that I was in a relationship at 12, I don't talk to him anymore. But, we didn't do anything too crazy. I only made out with a few guys, not all of them. I didn't even kiss all of them. Like, that's how like not serious it was. And that's why in the Instagram comment, I was like, it depends on the intimacy and it depends on the dynamic, because I could easily be friends with like 5, 6, 7 of them because we did nothing. Yeah. Like, we talked on the phone. You know?
I can see an issue if you were like, hey, let's go to country in Mexico. Oh yeah, I remember when I did that with this person. Then it's like, oh, okay, cool. So let's go there. And it's like, oh, that's funny because that's the second spot we went to.
Right.
So then I would be like, okay, like it seems like you did a lot with this person. Now, it's not that I don't trust you at that point. Now it's just like, these are things I didn't know. So my mind can go in any direction.
Yeah, and now Rudy would probably feel very uncomfortable if I said, hey, I spoke to so-and-so the other day. Oh, the guy that you went to Mexico with 4 years ago? Like, it's like, whoa, and then that kind of, that doesn't help his ego.
Yeah,
it doesn't help his self-confidence.
Yeah.
Because as much as he trusts me and wants to trust me, he doesn't trust this other guy. He doesn't know this guy's motives. And so
it's even worse if the guy comes up to me and is telling me stuff about you that I don't know. Then it's just like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Yeah, so you got to be open and honest with the communication, because it's important to know these things. Like, how intimate were you with your past partners? How many guys have you done this and that with? And Rudy knows all of it because we've been together for it's gonna be 14 years this year.
14, yeah.
And sometimes we just sit in the car and we talk about stuff, like random stuff.
Yeah, stuff that we could either laugh about now, that were maybe pretty serious back in the day.
Yeah.
And just laugh about the actual funny stuff that happened and just reminisce. That's what we do.
I wanted to share some of the comments that some people made on YouTube. Because they were pretty good, and I got some DMs on Instagram as well. But someone said, yes, it's okay to be friends with your ex if the relationship never had a bad end, but the ex would have to respect your marriage.
Oh, for sure.
Someone said, if you have kids, you definitely need to have an amicable relationship. If no kids, then only if you're in a trusting, God-led marriage.
That's a good point too.
Yeah, so if I had a baby daddy, like, we need to be amicable because we have kids.
Yeah.
But I have heard stories of people going back to their baby's father because obviously you had a child.
Yeah, that child is a physical connection between you two.
Yeah, that's
like
pretty
that.
serious.
That if you guys are very great parents, the both of you are in that child's life. So it can stir up any type of feeling. Like, it could just be a regular walk in the park because child A was like, I want daddy to come because my birthday's tomorrow and he's gonna work, but I want him here today. Cool. You guys walking through the park together, and then all of a sudden, hey, remember when baby number A did this? Oh yeah, ha 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 ha, boom. Connection. Yeah. Yeah. And then, your significant other is at work, or is on his way to work, or is driving for work and sees you guys, and it's just like, I know he's the child's father, but yeah.
In that instance, I don't think it's okay to be friends. I think it's okay to be cordial, but you can't be friends with your baby daddy while you're married to somebody else. Like, I just think that's so. It's just opening up a can of worms.
Yeah, I think
friends.
also the
heavy on the friends.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Friends. We call each other, like, we hang out. I don't think that's appropriate.
I think it depends. If you are friends, the level of friendship is
very low.
Yeah,
very basic.
like not low where it's just like, oh my gosh, you're like a robot. Like you're just like, hello,
He
friend.
can't come
How are
to
you
your
doing?
birthday party.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like, again, this is why I agreed with one of the people that you were talking about. That it depends on the relationship you have with your significant other.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, we've had events or been to events where the people that we know that we've either spoken to or dated are there, or they're sitting at our table, or they're like, like it's whatever, it's chill. Let's party.
Yeah, and heavy on the trust. You got to be willing to trust your partner if your partner has had a child outside of your marriage. Mm-hmm. And then somebody else said, Cindy Martin said the same thing. I'm a couple of children are involved, but not friends. And Alyssa said something very deep today. I want to head into my messages because I really liked what she said. Before I tell you what she said, I want to talk about the fact that I actually have. Let's figure out how to say this. So, I have had exes contact me who said that they were still in love with me. Mind you, I was with these guys while I was a teenager, mm-hmm. and they reached out like 10 years later. And it's like, what do you want me to do with this information? I can't help you. And it's funny, I actually had someone reach out while I was pregnant and said, I'm still in love with you. And at that moment, I was just like, I gotta cut you off.
Yeah.
We were good friends. Like we were best friends, even though we were like dating, we were best friends. And this is someone that I actually dated like outside of high school. And I was just like, no, I cannot do this. I cannot go down this rabbit hole of being friends with someone.
Not that. Oh yeah, you can't go down a rabbit. I was gonna say, it's not that you were yourself diving in to it. It's you were just like, nah, because what you're doing right now is a little uncontrolled. What we had was a thing, a nice friendly relationship, and you're stepping outside of it. So
yeah,
you're lost. I'm gone.
At this point in my life, I cannot. There was a point where I did entertain it, not gonna lie, because I really wanted to be friends with this person again because we were best friends. But he was still in love with me, and I was trying to like just ignore that, and it got out of hand. It got really out of hand. Roody did not like it at all. And our friendship ended abruptly because he was disrespectful. So when he came back to me like a year and a half later and said, I'm still in love with you, I was just like, no, we can't do this.
Yeah, I originally never had any issues with it before. It's just now you crossed the line and then disrespected me in front of my wife.
And children.
It's like, okay. All right, so you clearly have no respect for me, so
Zero.
I think it's rather that you step away and better that I never see you again.
Yeah, so I in instances like that, definitely not okay to be friends with your ex. And then someone else, he said that he was still in love with me, and I was just like, you'll get over it. And I continued to be friends with him, and it just like trickled off. Nothing came of it because. And mind you, Roody knows about every conversation.
Yeah, I know all of them.
And so this isn't a surprise to him.
No.
Don't think he's surprised. And Roody knows that he can trust me. So, I allowed this person to still be friends with me, even though I knew he was in love with me. And it just died off. Like we barely even talk to each other now. And that's what I knew would happen, because eventually you'll see that I'm not that big of a deal. Like, relax. Okay?
I mean, I won't say that you're not that big of a deal, because you are a big deal.
Oh, you think you like me?
It's just that I think there comes an understanding with feelings, and just a very mental note that, hey, she has progressed into another relationship and she is fine where she's at. There's no way that she's breaking it off just to try something brief or serious with another. She's not moving.
Yeah. So now I feel like I can read the message to you guys. I hope Alyssa's okay with this. If not, then I'll just cut this out. All right, so she said, I think you can be cordial, but no need to be communicating on any type of regular basis. I agree with the regularity. We're human and things happen. I wouldn't want to be in a situation where I'm the reason why my ex let his guard down and got vulnerable with me because of our history and comfortability, and potentially cause issues between him and his new significant other, which I thought was huge. If it didn't work out and you've moved on to lucky contestant number 3, LOL, leave it alone. That's just my take. And I think that those are such wise words because, okay, it's not even just about my marriage. Now what about his relationship or his marriage? Am I going to be the reason why, you know, he doesn't want to be intimate with his wife anymore because all he can do is think about me?
Oh, no, that's bad.
Yeah, exactly. So now we've moved on from it affecting one side to now it affecting both sides, you know? So these are the things that you got to weigh when you're chartering into this territory.
That's just the immediate, issues that come up because it can trickle. Parents getting involved, or it's just like, wait, I thought you stopped talking to so and so. What do you mean? Your significant other came to us saying that you 1, 2, 3, and it can get bad, and that's not even involving friends.
Yeah. So I thought that this was great. Like, I really when I saw this on Instagram, I was like, wow, because I didn't know that people felt so strongly. Like I didn't have a lot of people who were agreeing with me in the comment section. I just had a lot of other people who said that it depends, but nobody was like expounding. So that's why I really wanted to get on Instagram and YouTube to take that poll. And everybody was just like, absolutely not. It's just like, but here I am, we saved ourselves until marriage. So it's not like I was intimate in that way with any of those guys. So I'm like, what's the big deal, me being friends with you? I can still go to events and I see, have I seen an ex lately? I don't think I've seen an ex lately.
I know I haven't in a long time.
Yeah, when was the last time I saw one of my exes? I don't know. But, if I did go to, wait a minute, that's very strange. I feel like I used to see them a lot and now I don't.
No, it just stopped. It stopped. They used to be around. Yeah. Like you'll just pop up here, pop up there, or hey, how are you doing type of thing. And it stopped. Because remember, the pandemic happened.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of people just moved away.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I did see them, like, hi, how are you? So good to see you. Give you a hug and, Rudy, hey, dap up, all that stuff, And then we'll go on about my business. It's overdone and finished. Like, I have nothing else to say to you. Now, if we're talking about one of the guys that I used to make out with, then it's just a little bit awkward because Rudy knows all the stories.
Yeah, I know everything.
I kiss and tell. So Rudy knows all the stories.
I gotta fix that. You kissed and then told.
I kissed and told Rudy.
Yeah, there we go. We gotta fix that up real quick.
Yeah. So Rudy knows all the stories. So if I were to ever encounter someone that I did make out with, I would feel really awkward because Rudy knows.
I just keep it cool. Hey, how are you? You're good today? Awesome.
It's a good thing I haven't made out with a lot of guys. It's only like, 4?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if I made out with all 12? Ooh,
yeah, but, based on how I know how you are, everything that we've explained is still the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really no difference. Now, if there was a difference, it's because of how one of them would be acting, or how, they would be acting.
Yeah.
That's the only possible difference that would have been if it were to happen.
And it was so long ago because we've been together for 14 years, So it's like, does this guy even remember that I made out with him a few times?
You'd even remember that you made out with someone.
Who?
You just didn't remember. Like, you were like, oh my gosh, did I?
Yeah.
So like, one, that just shows that it wasn't really that important. Well, at the moment, yes, but now in your new phase or new place in life, it's just like, oh man, I didn't even remember.
Yeah, because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
But I feel like there are a couple of them that remember. Because Rudy has told me I'm a good kisser, so I'd like to think that I'm memorable. Do you agree?
That you're memorable?
Yeah.
No, of course.
You see, he said it. I didn't even have to tell him. All right, guys. So I think that this is the end of the discussion. It's still going, right? It's still recording.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you have a discussion topic that you want us to, tap into for the next episode or any of the episodes, let us know because we here for it, girls and boys.
We here.
We here. I here.
And
And
you
you here. So this was fun. Thank you so much for listening. If you are not subscribed to us, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you're following us on Instagram. And we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Raising a family. This is how life should be. This is their story.